GCO Level 2010 Section B, Question 10. This question is on ionic bonding and QA. Let's look at the question. Part A. Calcium chloride and sodium oxide have high melting points and form colorless solutions with water. Note that these two compounds, they contain metals and non-metal. Sodium is the metal, oxygen is the non-metal. These are the two properties of typical ionic compounds: high melting point and soluble in water, forming colorless solution. Part 1. Draw a diagram to show the electronic structure of calcium chloride. So in order to draw the structure of calcium chloride, you need to know the proton number of these two elements. So you work out the electronic structure of calcium first, 2.2. Chlorine is 287. So in order to achieve the stable noble gas structure, it needs to give away 2 electrons, forming Ca2 plus ion. Chlorine, on the other hand, only needs 1 electron to form the stable noble gas structure, 288. So if you put them together, Ca2 plus, Cl minus, exchange the charge, you will get a compound with the formula calcium chloride, CaCl2. After that, you will draw the structure of calcium cation with the full shell of 8 electrons in the outermost shell. As for chloride ion, you don't have to draw 2 chloride ions. You just draw one of them and then put a 2 in front of the chloride ion. There you have the calcium chloride compound illustrated here. Next question. Describe how this structure differs from electronic structure of sodium oxide. So the question wants you to compare the structure of calcium chloride and sodium oxide now. So as done in part 1, you need to know the atomic number of sodium oxide. So you work it out. Sodium 281. In order to achieve stable noble gas structure, you will lose 1 electron to form sodium plus ion. Oxygen 2.6. In order to achieve stable octet structure, you will gain 2 electrons. Therefore, it has a charge of 2 minus. So when you put them together, you will form a formula of cross over the charges, you get Na2O. Okay, now this question doesn't require you to draw the electronic structure of sodium oxide, so it describes in words. The calcium ion has a charge of 2 plus and is bonded to 2 chloride ions, of each a charge of 1 minus, while the sodium ion has a charge of 1 plus and 2 sodium ions is bonded to an oxide ion of charge 2 minus. That will give you your 2 marks. Next question, part B. Explain why these two substances have high melting point. High melting point is typical property of ionic compounds. So this is how you write it. These substances are ionic structures where ions are held in an ionic lattice by strong electrostatic forces of attraction. A lot of energy is required to overcome these forces, hence giving them a high melting point. Part C. Describe a chemical test to distinguish between solution of these two substances. What are the two substances? calcium chloride and sodium oxide. So you use your knowledge of QA to answer this question. Add dilute acid to respective test tube of solutions. Then add aqueous silver nitrate to each of the test tubes. State the results. A white precipitate of silver chloride forms in a test tube containing calcium chloride. The test tube containing the sodium oxide remains colorless. That will give you your 3 marks. End of question.